For the debate, the member for Thornhill.
Buenos dias, Mr. Speaker. I'm honoured to rise today to recognize the designation of October as Hispanic Heritage Month. Ontario is fortunate to count over 400,000 individuals of Hispanic descent who trace their roots to over 24 nations on 3 continents, as well as the Caribbean. Many came in search of a better life, or to flee war, dictatorship, or natural disaster. We have to sometimes wonder about the weather. I don't think that they were moving here necessarily for the weather, since we all like to vacation so often in their home countries. Our province is blessed to enjoy the fruits of the Hispanic community's incredible contributions in the realms of education, medicine, commerce, the arts, culture, and of course sports. In formally proclaiming October as Hispanic Heritage Month, our province will recognize and honour these commitments and provide an avenue for those of Latin heritage to share the richness of their cuisine, language, and way of life with all Ontarians. We're also blessed to have a variety of delightful events that detail the rich culture of Hispanic people. This summer, the sensual sounds of bachata, merengue, and reggaeton, as well as the sizzling scents of churros, I think I'm saying that right, I hope so, but I have a feeling it's churros, will fill Melasma Square and dazzle visitors and tourists alike. So the date is September 4th to 7th, and I have a feeling that in future years they might move it to October. Weather permitting, they're going to have to decide, because this is an outdoor festival. And I'm inviting everybody to join that Hispanic fiesta for colorido, cultura, musica, and just, I think, a lot of fun and making some new friends, as we just heard. There's obviously a lot of Hispanic clubs across the province, and I think that we're just going to see more community groups and more events as the communities continue to grow. As the member from London West told us, she has a huge Hispanic population in her riding, and I think that we're all going to have to go visit, and I'm sure that there's some fantastic events and restaurants and you know, just people to visit and people to meet and to learn a little bit about the different heritages that comprise the Hispanic population. From 2001 to 2011, the Ontario Latin American population jumped 62% from 106,835 to 172,560. I'm not sure how they get their census numbers, but I think that it speaks for a very growing population. And the Hispanic community is the single largest minority in all of North America. And I think that that's evidence in some of the cultural changes we're seeing sort of through the decades in our lifetime in terms of TV shows and presence just in the movies and things like that in terms of culture. Yesterday, we were celebrating the Jewish Heritage Month, and as the only Jewish member of the PC caucus, I guess I'm an unofficial critic for everything to do with the Jewish community. And it's interesting that the people who joined me to attend the event, that actually one of the sponsors was the member from Davenport who's bringing forward this bill, so maybe she's going to be the critic of culture over there. The individuals who joined me, and there were over a dozen from what's called the Sephardic Gila Center in my riding of Thornhill, and they are basically what we consider to be French-speaking or Latino Jews from countries like Morocco and Tangier and France, and they bring their own sort of culture and not just language, but really culture, and it's a very rich, lively, happy community that is definitely growing in my riding. A couple of people that joined, one was Samuel Kislasi, who was born in Tangier, and his wife is Gracia. They have 3 children and 13 grandchildren, and I believe most of them are all in Thornhill. Samuel is the vice president of the Sephardic community in Toronto, and he's very active on Spanish TV, which is Tele Latino. He's a real estate agent, and I think that that's something sort of that we all have to consider, is that with all of these communities, they look for services in their languages, because that just facilitates their adaptation to the country if they can find a real estate agent who maybe knows some of the cultural community that they're looking to locate with. They're looking to purchase a home perhaps, or to start a business and to rent a place for that. So I really applaud people who move to our country but look for sort of diverse professions that can also help serve their community and be active on a volunteer basis, sometimes even in their own community. Joe Elmala was also here yesterday, also a member of the Thornhill community who's of Spanish heritage. He has 5 children with his wife, Shuli, and his business is Tiara Culinary Catering, which is a kosher catering company, which actually provided the food for one of my swearing-ins here at Queen's Park, because, again, if we're inviting people from a certain culture, religion, community, we often provide the food for that community as well. But I think that we're all aware that we enjoy all the different foods from all the different communities so often in downtown Toronto. We're very lucky to live in a diverse community, because that's part of what it brings, is it brings that diversity in terms of culture and in terms of cuisine. So we see a real overlap. You know, we're talking about all these heritage months, but there is a lot of overlap between all the different communities, and I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is that within the Hispanic community, there's many different religions, there's many different ways of celebrating their culture, and I think that it behooves us all here to learn as much as we can about all the different communities so that we can understand their needs and provide for them. When I was carpooling my kids, and they were a lot younger obviously, a new family moved from Mexico City to Thornhill, the Goodfriend family, and I started to carpool with, the wife was Lisa, the husband was Moise, and it was sort of cute to me because her 3 children, I felt like they weren't triplets, but their names were sort of how you would see triplets named, Ariela, Danielle, and Gabrielle. So it was wonderful. I still remember the first time I showed up to pick up the kids. Usually the mother comes out that first day, and you talk for a minute. And as I was putting the kids in the car and I waved to her and she went back in the house, she said, "Hola." So that sort of said it all, and it was, I really have to applaud Lisa and the whole Goodfriend family, because they came to a really new community all on their own. They didn't come with any family members or friends, and they quickly got themselves established. Their kids, that very first year, put on skates, learned how to skate. They'd never seen snow before. They were quickly learning how to ski. And I don't know how I would have handled a transition without family members, without friends, and all those supports, and just in such a different climate, the language challenges, and it's really a testament to the parents when the kids are so well adapted. So I'm just going to say to all of those who come to Ontario and Canada to establish a new life, welcome, and hats off to you, but don't be shy to say to your neighbours, where can I find a dentist, where can I find a doctor, where can I buy certain things, and to just ask for help. And also, obviously, the neighbours. In the old times, people would bring over something new to the neighbours, and I think that in many communities, I hear that still going on, but too often it doesn't. Just yesterday, we heard on the news about a Catholic school that wanted to offer Spanish as one of the core courses. And basically, what they're suggesting is we could teach geography in Mandarin, we can teach Spanish, for history. And we all know that children are sponges, and they pick up languages so quickly, Mr. Speaker, that I think that I really applaud anybody who makes that effort to teach their kids songs in other languages when they're toddlers, because that's really how it begins, to learn the accent, and to not just celebrate their own heritage, but to celebrate the fantastic heritage and culture of others in our community. So I look forward to celebrating many events for Hispanic Heritage Month, and I think that it's going to be a lot of fun for all of us here in the legislature if we could do something here. And gracias to the member for bringing this forward.